Welcome to my channel, guys. Thank you for tuning in to another video. Today I want to review or compare the Seiko Turtle versus the Mini or Baby Turtle. There's a couple of things I want to cover, but first off I think we should start with comparing them dimensionally. So on my left is the Seiko Turtle Special Edition Save the Ocean. Specifications for this, the diameter is 45mm with a thickness of 13.5 and a lug-to-lug of 47.5, and it's a 22mm bracelet. Here I've got an aftermarket bracelet on. I've also replaced the bezel from the SKS style to the coin edge, and I've put in a clear sapphire glass. Dimensionally versus the Mini Turtle, you're looking at a 42mm diameter with a 13mm thickness and a 42.5 lug-to-lug with a 20mm bracelet size. Straight off you can tell, just from the specifications, it is indeed a mini version of the Turtle, including the case design. So straight off the bat, this hits that mark where the average wrist size isn't that large. So I have seen quite a lot of people, they talk about smaller divers. Now, regards to samurais and turtles, some people feel they are too big, so this hits that market with a smaller wrist size, and obviously that's accommodated by the really short lug-to-lug length of the watch. If I compare it here side by side, you can see it is a lot smaller. So this will fit smaller wrists really well, and it can fit larger wrists. The main differences between the two turtles here, aside from the actual dimensions, is you've got a different style of bezel. Well, this one obviously has been replaced, but this is not like the normal SKX bezel that you get on the Turtles. It's got these nice notches on the side, giving it a different feel and a different look. Also, there's a few different changes on the case. This reminds me of the Sumo here, the way that's been made. And also the other difference is you've got the crowns on two different positions. Now, with the diameter being a lot smaller, again, it adds to the smaller wrist market. It's a bit more appealing for them. And personally, I find it is a really, really good fit. But having said that, even the larger turtle isn't a bad fit. So the lug-to-lug is still below 50mm. What I find is if you've got a 6.5 inch wrist, you want something ideally below 50mm, and that sits perfectly on the wrist. And the thing is with these turtles as well, because they've got a cushion style case, they fit quite snug to the wrist, and they are relatively low profile. They don't stick out as much. The reason I changed the bezel on the Turtle is because I find the SKX bezels are quite high, which makes this watch look slightly bigger, and with the coin edge it does make it quite significantly more of a low profile watch. Similarities, you've got the hands are the same. Now the hands bring me on to my next point, which I want to talk about. Now, I read a review on the Mini Turtle, and the review pointed towards saying the Mini Turtle basically is the newer SKX. I don't know about that because, well, let's cover this point. So if you've seen my previous videos on the Turtle, I mentioned how the Turtle is an evolution of the SKX 007, but historically the SKX 007 comes from the original Turtle, which is a 6309 model. Now, if you look at that, the way that's come across, the 6309 went to, after it was discontinued, they went to a 7002. The things which they kept were the dial hands and the crown position. Now, moving on to the 7002, the 7002 went to the SKX 007 that we see here. And this is where I think Seiko sort of deviated from that line, should we say. So we then had the reissue SRP series, the newer turtles. However, Seiko decided to go to the 5KX, which looks, the 5KX resembles the SKX 007 the most. Now, the only thing is it's 100 meters watch, so it doesn't qualify as a diver. And then they came up with this model, and then now they've got the Mini Turtle. I think the reason why people are kind of saying that this is the continuing evolution of the SKX is because obviously you've got the hands that are the same, but it hasn't kept a lot of the same design cues. So it's actually moved the crown position to the number 3 position. Also, the bezel's been changed. So it is quite a modernized version. I would say because there are so many changes, the Mini Turtle would have been better with maybe a different hand style, because right now the hands is what ties these together. Personally, what I would have preferred if they stuck to the 4 o'clock crown position, then that would have been an actual Mini Turtle. What I do love about the Mini Turtle is the actual size, the dimensions. I think the case is really nice, fits really well, whereas the reissue turtle is slightly wider. Let's compare them on the wrist. So we'll start off with the Mini Turtle. As you can see, it does fit really well in the center of the wrist. Now my wrist is 6.5 inches and it's a really snug fit, and the proportions are correct. This is the situation, obviously the problem with the 3 o'clock crown, with no crown guards being present. It will, if you wear the watch slightly forward or your wrist bone, it will dig into the back of your hand. But if you wear it slightly back, there should be no problem. And then comparing it to the turtle, it's a larger watch, but because I think the way the case fits, it does fit quite low down onto the wrist, and it's still a very comfortable watch. A lot of comments you will get on the turtles that there's no question about how comfortable it is, but again, I have come across a few people saying that they fear they might be a bit large. Even if you look at like the likes of the Samurai, again, because of the lug to lug, and that is what is important when it comes to fitting smaller wrists. It's all about the lug to lug distance. As I mentioned, as long as it's below 50 millimeters, you should be all right on the smaller wrists. Now, I think the Mini Turtle is a gorgeous watch. So if you are looking for something like a turtle, but a bit smaller, then I think Seiko have covered the mark with this. Now, as of this moment when I'm recording the video, the price is something spectacular, to be honest, where the brand new prices for the Turtle and the Mini Turtle were around £400. But I've seen a bunch of watches on eBay, brand new, they're retailing for 300. which is, I think, is a really good price. And they are holding quite strong on the second-hand market. So you're looking around the £240 mark for either one. I have reviewed both these watches independently, and I will link them at the end of the video. So if you want to see the full reviews on them, you can click that at the end. So this is a very quick, short review. I don't really have much else to say. If you have any questions, please put it down in the comments and I'll respond to that. Like always, if you like what you see and you enjoy the content, please subscribe, like the video, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you for watching.